Let me share something with you that most people completely overlook when starting a consulting business. And I'm not talking about something minor. This one thing could be the difference between spinning your wheels or getting clients consistently, which is where we want you to go. I'll get to that in a minute. But before that, we're going to walk through the basics, the foundation that you absolutely need. You have to start out with your expertise. Take inventory. I want you to go really, really deep. This is not something where you just gloss over. Like me, I could say, oh yeah, I help in marketing. No, super deep. What am I really good at? Getting clients, lead generation. What are you really good at? So get out a piece of paper. Let's go old school. We're going to write this down. It's always good for the brain. Make 2 columns. In one column, write down every single significant problem you've helped while you worked in corporate, you've helped an organization, maybe you've already had some clients. Write down all those problems. On the right, write down the results that you got. And it could be anything. It could be time saved. Of course, revenue generated, how many clients you got them, how many leads you got them, whatever that you did for them. Nothing's too small here. Nothing is too big. Write them all out. Don't forget stuff like teams rebuilt, processes put together, standards written up. And this matters because you need to have problems that you can talk about and then solutions. And having this down is literally your pain points and your value proposition. So seeing this on paper will really help on how you can talk about your business. And when you have this nailed, your conversations with future clients is going to be so much easier. Next step is, who do you want to work with? You need to have this ideal client in mind. So I'm going to be honest with you. At the beginning, I don't think you should go after just your ideal clients. If somebody wants to work with you, just do it, because you need to have some kind of experience. You need to have some kind of learnings. The very first time that I started taking clients, I was all over the board. I took people that had nothing to do with what I wanted to do. So I had my ideal client in mind, and that's who I went after. But in the meantime, when I got somebody that wanted to do something that's very, very different, but I knew I could still help them, I took them because I learned from them. And then maybe also this can help you really figure out your ideal niche and your ideal client, seeing what kind of people that you want to work with. So when you figure out who you want to work with, I want you to think about industry size. Is it a startup? Is it a solopreneur business? Is it a mid-size or a giant enterprise? Because it's very different marketing tactics that you're going to go after them. Sales tactics are different. And also the price point that you're going to be offering up is going to be different. So that's very, very important. And then you can get even closer to the specific kind of leader that you want. Is it only men that you want to serve? Is it only people over a certain age? Is it only people that are fun to work with, or people that are super serious and driven? Because that is really going to make your life easier at the very end, is when you do get a bunch of clients and you can start saying no to people when you know your ideal customer. And here's something interesting. In a survey of consultants and coaches, they found that 50% said the very first client that they had was an employer that they had from before. Let that sink in, because that relationship building is so important. So when you start going out on your own and you can have everybody that you've worked with before, you could just reach out to them. You already have that list of people that know you. Reach out. You don't have to say, hey, do you need somebody? You could say, hey, I'm doing consulting in X. Do you know anybody that needs anybody? And if you're still working right now and you're trying to get into the side hustle business at first and then end up doing this full time, do not burn bridges at your current employer. Like, make sure that you are in integrity and that when you're working there, you're giving them your all. The side hustle is on non-work times, please. And then you can have those people as maybe even references or testimonials, or they can become your clients one day. And make sure people know what you're doing and how you can help. There's somebody that just reached out to me the other day and they're like, hey, do you know a marketing consultant? And I'm like, me? And they're like, oh, I didn't know you're doing consulting. And that is a faux pas on my end. Don't let that be your faux pas. Everyone in your network, tell them, this is what you're doing. This is what you're working on. Here are the problems that you're helping to solve. Here's the kind of clients that you're going after. And this is the value that you provide. You have to reactivate your network when you're starting out. Go through every single person. Look at who's following you on Instagram. Look at the people you've worked with. Look at your LinkedIn. Literally every single one. Make a giant spreadsheet. Reach out to every single one of them. Reactivating your network is a lot of times where you'll find your first clients, or maybe they know somebody. Now you need to make a decision. Are you going to be all in, or are you going to be sliding in? So all in means you quit your job, you do it all, this is your full-time job, and you just hustle, hustle, hustle. Or the slide in would be that you start slowly and you do this on weekends and you do this at night, and every now and then you take a client and eventually can build up. There is no right or wrong. The people that say like go all in, burn the bridges from your current job and just do it, that's cool if you have the money, if you don't have people relying on you for an income, if you can make that work. If this becomes a stress bucket because you have no money and no income and you can't pay your mortgage or you can't pay your rent, do not go all in. So it really depends on where you are financially for this. The slide in is really good if you're maybe not sure if the consulting thing is even something you want to do, so you can test it out. Or B, if you need to keep this income and you need to make sure that you have enough money to pay the rent, mortgage, food, and all that good stuff. And then if that's what you're doing, a good rule of thumb, and this is not 100%, this is really up to you and your financials, is if you can make 50% of your salary, then maybe it's time to go. Because if you can make 50% of your salary on weekend work and night work, imagine if you had 40, 50 hours a week to actually just concentrate on your business. Pricing is where a lot of new consultants get hung up. In general, we say that if you can not charge hourly, but instead charge by project or something like that, it's better. However, this is such a hang up for most people. And since you're new and you don't really know exactly how long a project takes, go ahead and do hourly. You will have to do research. What does your competitor charge? You will charge very differently if you're helping out a huge organization like an enterprise organization, or if you're helping out a solopreneur startup that is just getting started. And here's something that is absolutely not optional: marketing. Specifically, marketing yourself. People need to know about you. People need to know who you are. People need to know that you are already out there. People are trusting you, and you have to brag about yourself a little bit. It's not easy for a lot of us. I totally get it. But you have to market your services. Otherwise, nobody knows that you even have these services. And for a lot of us where we don't like to be pushy or salesy, we do the education angle, right? This video is an education angle. I'll do a lot of LinkedIn articles that are just purely educational. And that is a good way for people to understand, like, okay, she understands what I'm going through. You can pepper in the pain points and the value propositions. You can talk about your clients. You can give examples in your education about current clients that you've helped so they see that other people trust you. And remember, consulting and coaching is a relationship business. So if you're showing up like this, then people can see that, okay, this is a person I'm already like kind of getting a relationship with just from watching the YouTube videos, then I'm more likely to buy, right? So they get to know you. That is also like going on stages, speaking at your local Better Business Bureau and that type of thing. Now, here's the thing that I promised at the beginning that a lot of people will just skip over. And this might be woo-woo, but it's not. There's science behind this. It's your why. Listen, having your own business is very difficult at times. Most of the time it's fun. Most of the time it's cool because you don't have a boss because you're your own boss. But it can be very difficult. Clients can turn out to be nasty. You could lose a giant client. Maybe it's taking you longer to get as many clients as you need. There's going to be stresses. And if you can always come back to your why on why you did that, that is going to help you get through those stressful times. One of the people that I'm working with, she left her corporate job, and her whole thing is she's doing consulting, and we had put a plan together. And one of the things was outreach to the existing people that she already knew. And I gave her a whole plan. I even gave her a copy, how to outreach. And she said, yes, I'm on it. And so every time I would check in with her, she wasn't on it. And so I asked her, like, why are you not reaching out to people yet? And she said, oh, I don't want to bother people. I don't want to get in the way. And so I said, you know what? We need to look at your why. Why did you want to start this business? And we went deep into her why, which was she didn't want a boss anymore. She was in her 50s and she decided, like, I don't ever want to work for anybody again. I want to stand on my own 2 feet. So we talked about that. And I'm like, imagine you get these clients and you start making money and you stand on your own two feet. This is your why. And she got jazzed up and I got jazzed up. And we said, by tomorrow, reach out to 5 people. And she did. We hung up, she reached out to 5 people, she landed a client, and she really got her why to pick her back up. And so when you're not motivated, or like I said earlier, if something goes bad, your why is what's going to get you through. Now, if you want to go deeper in any of this or you're starting your business, book a discovery call with me. It's all in the description. We can figure out what your needs are and then go from there, because the stuff is hard to do alone. And having accountability and having a partner that can help you with marketing and sales and all that good stuff, it really makes it a little bit easier. All right, if you found this useful, please like and subscribe. And don't forget to check out the next video with more tips for you.